Hello folks, this is Freedom Fighter. Today is Tuesday, July the 23rd, 2024. And I just had, a couple hours ago, I should say, I had my morning briefing with Goldilocks. And I'm very inspired by the articles that Goldilocks shared today. As always, I'm very inspired. These two articles, we don't want you to overlook them and the importance of them. One is going to be about the financial stability for emerging markets. This is a major development related to foreign currencies coming out of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Then the second is going to be a FOREX announcement from the CME, or which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, for Forex spot trades. But there is something very important happening on July the 29th as it pertains to XRP, Ripple, and it's mentioned in the first link of this article by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and we'll touch on that. So let's jump right into it. Faithful adoption of inflation targets may in fact lessen the pass-through of currency depreciations to domestic conditions, as shown by the recent work by the IMF's Regional Economic Outlook team. Folks, the IMF's Regional Economic Outlook team is very important. This is a team of experts from the International Monetary Fund that is deployed into a country to do an economic analysis on that country's economy, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and what that country may need to do in order to strengthen their economy, which of course includes the impact of that country's currency and how it affects that country's GDP, that country's growth, and that country's economic outlook. Goldilocks continues. Financial stability for emerging markets has been a great concern for quite some time. Remember, this is coming from the IMF. Folks, an emerging market. Well, what is an emerging market? Not the U.S., because the U.S. is considered an advanced economy or an advanced market. Not Russia, not China. They're considered advanced. An emerging market or an emerging economy. Iraq is considered one. Vietnam is considered one. Venezuela. Several others, but I'm speaking of probably for the most part the currencies that many of us hold. In fact, there was an economic outlook that was done by the World Bank on Iraq in October of last year. And also the IMF and World Bank on Vietnam a few months ago. So this is very important coming from the IMF. Financial stability for emerging markets has been a great concern for quite some time. We have seen their currencies depreciate, meaning the depreciation of currencies in these emerging markets. We have seen their currencies depreciate for several years, and interest rate differentials have worked until debt became too great, and now inflation targets such as gold being added to the net worth of a country's assets are now being integrated to stabilize our global economies. Folks, in order for a country to revalue their currency, or for the currency to begin to float and values begin to increase, their currencies, their economies must be considered stable. They must be stabilized, in order, which managing inflation is a large part of that. Goldilocks continues. The IMF and World Bank have been working with many of our emerging markets, like I said, Iraq and Vietnam, in helping them create financial stable economies through the implementation of Basel III and other banking mechanisms to support their currencies. Currently, we are close to the end of the QFS entering into its final stages of development. The use of tokenized assets that include gold added to our traditional market assets, along with the addition of gold added to our stable coins that represent our country's currencies, will go a long way in deflating our inflated economy. So what Goldilocks is sharing here is the inclusion of gold into the traditional markets, into the global markets, along with gold being added to each country's stablecoins. Remember, all countries will have stablecoins to back their country's currency. Iraq, Vietnam, Venezuela, Czech Republic, Russia, China, you name it, every country. Because every country that has a stablecoin will be on a level playing field with every other country they do trade with, because they must have stable coins. This is all a part of stabilizing a country's economy to justify the supply and demand for the currencies in those countries to begin moving. Recently, we discovered an article that told us we are moving from gold being a tier 1 asset to a sound money asset whereby gold can be used as money. This shift in monetary policy is currently in development. Gold will give all of our assets, including the Forex market, real values. This is highly important, folks. Gold will give all of our assets, meaning digital assets such as cryptocurrencies, paper assets, precious metals. Gold will give all of our assets, including the Forex market, real values. Real values on our paper currencies, real values on our digital currencies, real values on real estate. Everything, real values will become a reality as gold comes into play. We are moving from a speculative market to a market based on utility worth of assets going forward. This new alignment of our economy, operated through a digital asset-based trading system, will determine new rates on everything across the board, including foreign currency rates. This new alignment of our economy, operated through a digital asset-based trading system. What is that? The quantum financial system is the new digital asset-based. What's asset-based? It is such as assets such as gold, silver, other commodities that are in the new quantum financial system backing our currencies. Gold will set us free, as Goldilocks always says. If you want to click on the first link, it's directly from the IMF about the emerging market economy developments and the stability, the financial stability that they have done their research on and the outlook for these emerging economies. This is directly from the International Monetary Fund, which also, speaking of Basel III, IMF is a part of the Bretton Woods that will usher in the gold standard. The IMF and the World Bank both. Now we're going to go into FOREX Announcement. The FOREX Announcement that Goldilocks is sharing with us, which also our foreign currencies are coming into play, and also Ripple. New additions are being made on the CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Folks, this is a global stock market that we are talking about. The updated version of Forex, foreign currency exchanges trades that include the over-the-counter trades that include retail market participants will begin their testing later this year. Just because you see that something is going to be done later this year does not mean that we may not see movement on prices until then. This is just referring to you folks, letting you know something that this particular stock market, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is doing. The Forex market continues to be significantly influenced by global economic policies as central banks' decisions are becoming a significant part of the regulatory process. What is the regulatory process? This is regulations. This is the regulating, the legal framework that is constantly being integrated into the quantum financial system. Why is that important with these central banks? Well, the central banks are the institutions that hold the currencies for which we may have, such as the Central Bank of Iraq is the central bank that holds the dinar. The Central Bank of Vietnam, called the State Bank of Vietnam, that's the central bank that oversees the dong. So the Forex market continues to be significantly influenced by global economic policies as central banks' decisions are becoming a significant part of the legal or the regulatory process. The merging of central banks with our brick and mortar institutions through a digital economy is significantly changing the landscape of foreign currency exchange processes in cross-border trades. What are cross-border trades? Those are the trades, the transactions that one country does with another country on the other side of the world. One border to the next. Iraq doing trade with Vietnam is cross-border. Vietnam doing trade with the U.S. is cross-border. Iran doing trade with Russia is cross-border. These are cross-border transactions. And this is significantly changing the landscape of foreign currency exchanges and the processes cross-border. We are finally in the process of transitioning into a digital cross-border international payment system. Why is this so important? It's the payment systems, folks, that connect into the quantum financial system to move our paper currencies through the quantum financial system, move those paper currencies digitally. The payment systems, prime example, for those of you who may know, we've talked about FedNow before. We've also talked about UPI, Universal Payment Interface, for which is the payment system created by India, which is a part of the BRICS, but which Iraq and Vietnam went live on that payment system earlier this year. Goldilocks has shared that information with all of us. That's a payment system. How will our currencies, when we exchange, how will they move fluently, instantly through the system to complete our exchanges in the new quantum financial system? It'll be done through the international payment systems. They all have different names depending on the region for the currency that we hold. We are finally in the process of transitioning into a digital cross-border international payment system. Look for regulatory or regulations. Look for regulatory protocols to come into play the rest of this year. Payment regulations protect consumers. That's us. Maintain financial stability for those countries and promote market integrity. They can also help ensure legal compliance, prevent fraud. That's highly important. Prevent fraud so that there is measures in place, folks, that when you exchange, that there's no theft, there's no manipulation, no corruption. These regulatory guidelines, the legal frameworks, must be in place to protect our exchanges. So they can also help ensure legal compliance, prevent fraud and security breaches, and promote effective competition, meaning affecting competition from one bank to the next, payment systems to the next, so that we are in a situation where we are getting the best cost-effective payment systems that are available in the marketplace. This is all in order to secure us in the quantum financial system from a legal basis and also from a instant payment cross-border basis to secure our exchanges rapidly and securely in the new quantum financial system. If you were to click on the first link that Goldilocks has shared, the CME group, there is something that is highly important and relevant to our exchanges. If you are able to click on that first link that I'm referencing, and you go down to where it says product launches, and you see on the 29th of July, where it states additional CME, CF cryptocurrency pricing data, Internet Computer, and Ripple XRP indices on July the 29th. That's a launch for Ripple XRP indices on July the 29th. It's being launched on the CME. Now, why is this so important? Well, to understand cross-border payment systems, XRP is the world's cross-border technology in the new quantum financial system. Pay attention to that. That is a very, very important time for XRP to go live and be launched on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. For those that know, you know the relevance of that. If you don't know, feel free to come ask in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, where we're open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll answer any questions you may have. We love you. We appreciate you. Always show some unconditional love. And we hope that someone shares that unconditional love with you. No matter what you're going through, it will get better. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow may never come. Cherish this moment you have right now. Ciao.